Pin. 3, 2, 1.
That's nobody.
So, yeah. Try it again. Do it again.
That's in my lap.
So, Robbie, then.
Hi,
No, what are you talking? Do it properly.
We're doing it now.
No, we're not doing it properly.
Spinning the
because
pen.
Tom is purposely screwing it up. Just like I was doing that
Robbie.
deliberate strategy at risk. Sorry, Robbie, you go.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 25 of the Friendlyjordies podcast. Robbie here. I've got Tom and Jordan in the studio. We've got a Handle with Care edition this week. We've got a lot of fun segments coming up. We're going to be addressing the haters. We're talking about ghosts, I think. I don't have the list in front of me, but I can't. I can't see the list of what we're talking about. So
10 seconds to go. Lasted 20 seconds this time. We're still playing the pen game. Spin the pen, as it has affectionately been known since today. And we'll be continuing doing that for the rest of the pod.
It's so
astoundingly, it's very difficult. Even though I haven't done it, I can see the stress marks in Robbie's face.
I didn't have the list of what we were saying.
You have aged a lot. It's such a serious expression. You reminded me a lot of an insurance salesman that's sitting there with a bottle of gin at 9:30 in the morning, looking down at it, going, "Oh, Christ, is this my life?"
Yeah, the game is that whoever the pen flicks at, they have to talk for 30 seconds without anyone else talking, which seems like it should be the easiest task, but it's really, really hard.
Yeah, you got to straight out of the gate. You got to have the energy, you know.
Even with Robbie's extensive radio background of doing some show on some radio station.
Oh, we can't mention
you want to mention it? I did want to give him a shout out. Screw Robbie's audience.
What is it? Romance with Robbie.
Romance with Robbie, yeah, but
We do it, but you're supposed to talk on that. But I suppose you've got the same radio job as most people do in the middle of the day when they go 104.5 XXSFM, and we're just going to leverage Kelly Clarkson, and we're going to go on a Britney Spears, and then they go to the next track.
Yeah.
That's you, except for it's 12:30 in the morning, and no one is listening except for this very scared antisocial man who I imagine has the DNA of a mole in him and is trying to press the buttons to try and call up, but he's going, these damn weak little hands. It's very difficult for him to do it. He needs weights. So he's put it in speed dial at this point, I would imagine.
I should have just been holding the list of segments, but yeah. Anyway,
we're at FBI radio recording this, so thanks FBI, you guys are awesome. Today's
got more nighttime chat voice with Tom Montefiore. I really wish that we started recording this at night again, because don't you think that he's got the perfect voice for that? That really sounds like you're listening to radio post 12 a.m. where it's a brand new day and it's time for you all out there to get jazzed about the promises that this day has.
Yeah,
it
just sounds tired.
Unless you're in hospital, really sorry if you are.
yeah, just even keeled.
So tired. Yeah.
Energy drink.
Yeah, no, I'm drinking Mother right now, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay, so today's edition is the Handle with Care edition, because we've been receiving quite a bit of flack lately.
Which is why both of them are so flat at the moment. So used to getting flack. As Friendlyjordies, as the old expression goes, pimpin' ain't easy. I wouldn't know anything about that. That's not my game. Being on the internet.
What is your game, Jordan?
Being on the internet and complaining like an old man, even though I am still very virile, is my game.
Right.
These guys are new to it, however, and they got their first piece of hate mail today, and they are in such a sour mood, both of them.
Yeah, well, screw this guy, man. It sucks.
Sure,
He's a listener. He's a frequent listener. He's entitled to his opinion.
We don't know
you
that.
Suck. And of course, I agree with that because he didn't mention me. Suck you do, both of you.
Yeah, he's obviously a fan of yours, so you like it.
And
you
he
do
also
not act like this usually.
Should we read it out?
All right, read it out first.
Okay, so Patsu Don, here he is. Yeah. He goes, "Gotta say, mate, stick to your own shit. Your friends are gay and ruin it."
Yeah, whatever. No.
And what happened? See, they're legitimately sad about
and
this.
all the other comments.
The guy called you gay. You should have gotten over that insult in year 5.
No. It's pretty mean.
All the other comments are commenting their mates in there. None of them have likes. You know, they've actively received this notification. Patsu's not tagging anybody, and somebody's gone through and liked it. Somebody sifted through the comments and agreed that we're gay.
And, all right, this guy, this Patsu idiot,
Patsu Don.
he went down as well and commented on another thing that we've done, saying,
Posting about the Instagram.
wanting Robbie out of everything. He wasn't even involved in this video that we made. What does it say?
Said, shit sound. Rob needs to go. And
Rob
2
being
is the
short for
number.
Robbie.
And 2's the number 2 there. So
This guy is a moron.
yeah, Patsu Don, get stuffed.
Having said that, Pat Sujon, if you'd like to elaborate on why you think they're gay, very happy to hear that.
No, we're not. We're not happy to hear that.
Obviously, you guys aren't, but I am. I'm secretly endorsing you to do it with a little bit of a radio wink, which is very verbal, as this is a verbal medium.
Yeah, keep slinging
put it in.
shit, mate. Yeah.
See where it gets you, mate. Yeah.
see where that gets
let's
you.
see what happens.
Where
I'll
you
tell
from,
you where
mate?
it gets to you. You get an entire segment dedicated to you on the Friendlyjordies podcast. We've had a lot of positive comments throughout the pod, except for Robbie's obscene sound effects. I call them.
Which everyone came back in very strong
in
numbers.
droves. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was very nice to see.
So the
Thank
tally
you.
at the
And to
moment,
be completely
I think-
honest, I liked the sound effects myself. I know I'm just riding a bandwagon here, but like I honestly did like them. I
Thanks,
just
Tom.
was pretending to not like them last week, but I did. So
I wasn't pretending.
We talked about this before. didn't
Back
we?
on
Where
it.
says, yes.
But I think the tally at the moment is 2 hateful comments to Tom, 0 to Jordan,
2.
10, I think, to Robbie.
What's my second? Oh, all right.
Robbie is by far the most hated at the moment.
Okay, the
if you want to
other-
even out the scoreboard, by all means, do it. But
in
in the meantime,
Did the positive ones cancel out those?
yeah, this is purely negative. Once they're etched on there, they're there forever.
Okay.
Because it's kind of like your soul. It's a little scratch on there. And once your soul has been damaged, it doesn't heal. It's not flesh.
Yeah, it doesn't grow back. Yeah, well, I think the thing is, like, Jordan has a subreddit almost dedicated to how much they hate him.
Oh, yeah, actually. So if we include that, the tally would be Tom, 2, Robbie, 10, Jordan,
Hundreds.
Because there is at least 25 posts specifically about me that is dedicated to hating me. And then there's many, many posts in that. So there would be hundreds.
But today I had a Change.org campaign specifically made to burn me at the stake. So I think I win this.
But the guy that they used is our good friend Dice Lee. It is not Tom Montefiore in the picture, but they've put hilarious, comical devil horns and tails, which I can assure you are photoshopped. Di does not have those, as he is a man of God now. He is the man that frequently comes onto the pod and talks about how he's a reformed Christian. Haven't heard from him in weeks, purely because he sent Ali and I a text saying
What was it?
that I no longer want to partake in idle chit-chat anymore, which is what this pod is all about. So I won't be hanging out with you anymore. I still love you guys as a man. But
Did he
we're just
actually
not
do
on the
that?
right path anymore, you know?
Oh my god!
Wow. Cutting.
Yeah.
I think this guy's
good. I'm
changed
glad that they
the-
put the monsters side up for it because, yeah, that was really my version of your guys' Patsu Don. Man, these guys are gay.
Yeah. Well, Di, if you're listening, I'm still keen to hang out with you if you want. Can you go back up on this? So why it says Di burns Tom at the medium rare steak for
so
being
maybe they didn't.
a wizard in the 1600s. I think he's changed it.
Oh.
Anyway, the point is
did.
someone's petitioning to have me burnt to death, and there's 8 supporters at the moment, 92 to go, and I'm a dead person.
Quite low at 100. And later on, Tom, as he is a wizard, and they've caught on to that, very insightful. Now we've got a third comment of hate. Screw Tom, love Robbie.
Oh my god.
In caps.
It's honestly really, really strange experience.
So later on in the pod, Tom will be, as always, denying that he's a wizard, but this time there is something at stake here, because if he loses in convincing us that he is not a wizard, we will all go to Sizzlers because we wanted to anyway. This is just a nice reason to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And Tom will be forced to order the steak, medium rare, and he'll have to burn his tongue on it. So we'll ensure the Sizzlers staff make sure it's sizzling or we're sending it back.
Yeah, deal with that, Patsy Don. Not
It's very hard to hate somebody with the name Don in it.
I know it is.
As if
Such
he's
a
not
king.
he's so qualified. He is qualified to tell you that you're gay.
Yeah. So yeah, once again, gotta stay, mate. Stick to your own shit. Your mates are gay and you ruin it.
And what better way to
Prove we're not.
than deflecting the same strategy that you used in year 5 of as soon as someone accuses you of being gay, to try and push that away as quickly as you can by proving how bravado you are. Both Tom and Robbie are going to tell you about their near-death experiences to prove they're not gay.
Yeah, so Patsy, Don. Well, Robbie, you start. So this is like, yeah, go on. Why are you not gay? Convince Patsy, Don.
Oh, I've got a couple of near-death experiences, actually. But
Yeah, one's enough. We want this segment to be very short.
okay.
You don't have to think about it as well.
Just give us the gist, please.
We're proving why we're gay and ruin this thing.
Okay, I was outside this internet cafe one time and people from quite high up on a nearby apartment building threw beer bottles at us and they smashed very close. And if it did hit us, we would have died. And we quickly, departed to go to McDonald's to get a lovely meal. And then the other time, I nearly got hit by a bus. I was crossing the street and I didn't notice there was a bus there, and so I quickly just got past it. And
Are you kidding me? Everyone's had that so many times.
I don't know. I'm just telling you my experiences.
Even in Robbie's mind.
So yeah, all right. That was short. Go on.
My one was
really short.
I was like 3 years old in Hawaii, and I thought I was like still on my like floaty things, and I thought I could swim without them, so I took them off and dived in, and I just was sinking to the bottom, and I just remember like just the image of looking up and seeing kind of like the glimmering water, with the light kind of shining through, and just realizing I was in like a lot of trouble. I was just sitting down there for a while, and then these like hands came in and like picked me out of the water.
Like your Bigfoot. That's probably why it's
was
your
like
spirit
Bigfoot.
animal. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
god, that we're getting into some quite deep stuff here.
Yeah, Tom!
Yeah.
Is that memory quite anime in your mind? I've seen that a lot in adult Japanimation cartoons.
Yeah.
Where there's a kid in water and then these hands of God lift them out.
It was completely that, yeah, because I was so young. Like, I was like 3 years old, so I don't remember. It's like it's the earliest memory I have probably is just nearly dying, because that's meant to be that thing with like memory. Like, you only remember like massive achievements or like a very like scary kind of things like imprint into your brain.
I don't know. My first memory was, please, Grandma, the Batman's only $12. It's on special. It is on special.
And did she get it for you?
Yeah, she got it for me.
Yeah, there you go. Massive achievement.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Robbie, I know that we're not supposed to play all those sound effects, but it would be very nice if you played Final Fantasy's victory music right now. Damn.
You did it, Jordan. Yeah.
Okay. If I could get up and move the microphone with me, I'd be doing a lap of honour. However, instead, listening intently to Tom's near-death experience. Tom, please continue.
Yeah, no, that's it. So I survived that near-death experience, but that shows how hard I am, Patsy Don, so screw you.
Yeah, I'm pretty hard as well. I've got a similar one actually.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad. You are grown
All right,
men.
leave it out, Jordan, all right? What's your thing, Robbie, please?
When I was about 6, a friend tried to drown me.
Going to 3 stories. Oh, this one's
Really?
extreme.
Yeah.
Why
Who
wouldn't
the
you
hell
mention
is
that?
your son? What is that? Well, who's your friend?
Yeah.
Big rugby playing sort of guy was my best friend, and
Jesus.
I don't know, he just got a bit
The
excitable.
Aussie Kim Jong-il.
No, he was New Zealand.
Zealander.
Yeah. But
Well, to the rest of the world, Aussie.
Yeah,
Yeah, just
Except for
thought-
us, we're the only ones that know
trying
about
to see
that
what would
country.
happen.
Everyone else thinks it's a myth.
So he tried to drown
New Zealand
you.
is the Atlantis of the modern world. No one knows about
Probably.
it except for Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, mate. Oh,
Meaning
no,
that
well,
we are
obviously not, but yeah.
the Greeks,
yeah.
I guess, of the Southern Hemisphere. Got a video coming out about why that's explicitly wrong next. So subject to the Friendlyjordies video, because that's actually true. That is coming out next.
okay, cool.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to that.
Why was he trying to drown you?
I think he's just an excitable guy, and he just wanted to see what would happen. I think, I don't know. We were just having a pretty good time, and then he just shoved me under, and it was very traumatizing.
Jesus.
The other I was on the Great Barrier Reef one time, and I thought we were going to die. There was a really rickety boat there.
Oh, come on.
I'm just getting to bits now where I was scared. That's not manly.
yeah.
No, all right. So stick with those first two, Patsu Don, all right?
Yeah, remember those.
Yeah, remember
next
those
time
ones.
you think about it.
I'm a man.
Yeah, I almost died another time in the
I'm
water.
not gay / clutching at straws desperately.
Yeah, I was like surfing or whatever, and I surf school, and I fell off, and my rope got tied with some seaweed, and I was like an inch from the surface of the water, like paddling to try and get to the top, and like I could like get my arms out of the water, but not like my face, so it was like an inch away from breathing. And luckily some surfer came by and just like lifted me out.
Do you think that means that the ancient Greek god Poseidon, who as a man of science you clearly believe in,
Right.
do you think that means that he hates you or loves you?
Yeah, he's always trying to take me away in the hands of God.
Is he trying to punish you, or is he trying to make you one of his own merchildren?
Well, one happened in a Hawaiian hotel swimming pool, so I don't know how much power Poseidon would have there.
He's the god of water!
Yeah, of the sea.
Bulge water!
All right, let's move on from this. I think this is an appropriate time to bring up Jordan's near-death experience, which isn't a near-death experience at all. It's a ghost story.
And it's not even mine. It's my mum's.
Right.
Right. Tom, as this segment is called, I had a really good name for
And
it.
another thing.
And another thing, because this should have been in the last podcast, it is a supernatural story. But as we always get in the studio live, the person that was just talking to you for the last 20 minutes, local skeptic Tom Montefiore, to dispel everything that he claims is not real just because you can't prove it and you never will be able to because it probably doesn't exist.
Just because you can't prove it.
So you just proved then something else, Mr. Man of Science, that not only are you local skeptic, you're / party pooper.
I hate how it's such a bad ring to it. As though this is like, it should be insulting. Screw that.
But the fact that you...
That just because there's no
the
evidence
word
of something,
skeptic.
you won't even believe it. Like, it's so... Anyway, go on. Let's hear the story.
Fine. Well...
In such a sour mood because of Pat.
Yeah, really. Every word that is coming out of your mouth and going into my earphones that FBI has provided us, or
Thank you,
with
FBI.
working headphones now. Good work, community radio. You've really gone all out. Everything that's coming into it, it really feels like sour warheads going into my ears going, oh my God, feel the rush of sour bass. So my experience that is vicariously lived through by my mum is that she used to live in a house, and next to that house was a haunted house. And one of the flatmates that lived there was a skinhead who, surprisingly, my mum, who's one of the most PC warriors you will meet in your entire existence, to describe her, she is a woman who has the same hairstyle as you, Tom, shaved head.
Really?
Essentially. But it's grey, and she's always wearing some scarf she clearly bought at the markets, and she's always telling me to listen to the ABC. She's your classic PC warrior. She, when I was talking to her about, what did you think about this skinhead, Mum? Her response was, yeah, he was all right. He was a nice guy. It was so strange for her to say that about someone whose their whole identity is that Hitler was a cool guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, this guy...
Don't judge Jordan.
True, I never met him before.
No,
And-
that's the kind of thing like that is... I hate when people say that. Like, don't judge a book by its cover. If they've got like a swastika tattooed on them, it tells you heaps about their values, right? And that's something you should judge someone about, is their values.
I don't know, because Charles Manson also has a swastika tattooed on his forehead, and he is responsible for several deaths.
Yeah.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Unless, of course, it's The Wild Adventures of Professor E coming up later with the new Goosebumps book that you guys all demanded. You can judge by that's going to be really, really good. When my mum walked into this room, when everybody left and she had to look after the dog and cat that were next door, there was this moment of rustling through the house where she felt, and it's that classic thing that women always talk about of women's intuition, where she felt that something wasn't right. The cat and the dog start growling, and I don't know what the word is for when cats' hairs on the back going doing that.
Prickled?
Prickled.
Sure. Okay.
Half cat, half cactus. Prickled. She saw, looking around in the hallway, this kind of shadow of a human being quickly dart into the hallway. This is my mum. Be careful. She listens to the pod. Don't say anything to me.
No. I was like, because Robbie just got goosebumps just then, didn't you, Robbie?
Yeah.
That freaked you out.
Yeah, it did. As if it didn't you.
As if that would have freaked me out. Do you know me at all?
Carry on, Jordan.
All right, go.
Then also later, when she was locking up the house, and everybody was always saying that the house is definitely haunted.
Right.
She was leaving and she just closed all the windows, all the doors. She was about to lock the front door, and she heard the dog and cat bark and just freak out again. And then all at once, all the windows and the doors went.
I hate.
She walked in. All of them were open.
Wow.
She's dead serious when she talks about this. She gets really white-knuckled when she's saying it, even now, 30 years later. Then, later, couple of months, this is the scariest one for me. This freaked me out in the shower for weeks, and I sincerely hope that everyone listening to this, it does exactly the same thing, so you know my pain. That one of the housemates was in the shower. Then she thought she heard the skinhead saying, "Hey, the rent's due," and then she goes, yeah, okay, I'll give it to you. And then all of a sudden the skinhead, who my mum, by her own admission, the most PC thug woman in the world, loved this guy, thought he was a really chilled, relaxed skinhead.
Yeah. All right, this is a red flag, I think, for this whole story. But
All of a sudden, he starts getting really aggressive in tonality and going, "No, Jennifer, get it now! Get it now, you bitch!" Yelling and screaming at her, just like going insane with insults. And she's going, "All right, just relax." She walks out. There's no one in the house.
Oh, God.
The guy walks in like half an hour later and was like, "No, I've been out all day."
Oh, no.
You're so scared right now, Robbie.
Terrifying.
I hate that. Yeah, no, I think when animals start freaking out, I mean,
An angry
that's the
ghost
worst.
is scary, isn't it?
Then,
Yes.
and this is what's even scarier, because it's like whatever that movie was that everyone was scared of, except for my girlfriend who doesn't like scary movies. But for some reason with this one, much like an Arthur themed storyline where they're always going, "Oh my God, I don't want to see a scary movie." And then when they see one, they're like, "This is silly." Whatever that main one that everyone was really
the
freaked
Ring?
out about a few years ago, they had 4 of them and everyone was just scared of the first one.
Oh, Paranormal Activity.
Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, right.
This entity was definitely attached to the skinhead, because one day he was in the toilet. You hear this like blood-curdling scream, and he runs out of the toilet with his pants down. I always imagine that there is some toilet paper on the shoe, but I can't confirm.
Right.
They say, "What's the matter?" And he's like, "No, I'm leaving right now." Gets into the car, speeds away, gets his friends to pick up his stuff, and he moves into a different house that day. Never comes back to the house ever again. After that, no ghost ever. Swear to God, this is true. Man, I wasn't there, but it was my mum. My mum, man.
The entity was attached.
Who lives by herself and still carries rosemary beads when she's worried about one of her family members going, "Please, God,
Dude.
them out of a sickness."
Dude,
so
you're-
legit person, legit.
Your own story, you said like at the start of the story, you're saying, "Man, all right, like everyone knows this house was haunted." Everyone was saying this house is haunted. And now at the end of the story, you're saying, yeah, it was attached to the skinhead. As soon as the skinhead left, no more hauntings. The ghost was gone. Which was it? Was it attached to the skinhead or was the house haunted?
Well, it was the skinhead was haunted.
obviously-
Had
was
he
a poor
been there
choice of
forever?
words, and
Or
you've
was
just-
it the skinhead's always been there, or now he's now?
accusatory lawyer.
It's
It's just a
It's just a
I just
story.
didn't get it right. The wording.
No, look.
No,
it's-
but
is
you were
your
saying
problem?
it was like it's like Amityville or whatever it's called, horror, where it's like the house is a haunted house, and that's the way you made it out to be. And now it's like no, the skinhead was. It's just anyway.
Can I unpack it? Can I unpack it for you? I think it's like in the
critique strikes
community.
again.
In the community, it was the house was considered haunted because they didn't know the nuance of the haunting. When in fact, it was the skinhead that lived in the house that was haunted.
Because now we know the nuance that it was. The entity was attached to the skinhead. We know that now, don't we?
We
know
do.
this.
I mean, he just told us
because he
so.
left and the skinhead and the entity stopped.
Correct.
Maybe the entity
Doesn't even matter though.
The entity
There's
might
still
have
a
lived
ghost.
at the house, and when the skinhead left, the entity was happy because he left.
Perhaps.
Perhaps, yeah, maybe.
Tom's
That's just as
skeptic
likely
view.
as yeah.
The view of the hard-nosed skeptic is maybe the ghost was happy when the skinhead left because he doesn't like skinheads.
That's a really scary thought, though, of hearing like a ghost like screaming at you.
It's terrifying.
It's a terrifying story.
Especially leaving the shower, not knowing it's a ghost who's screaming at you at the time. I think that would be far more chilling. Going, can you relax? Why are you so aggressive? Landry?
There's no one
That would be
here.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is really
The
scary.
idea of the harpy that like screams, that you can hear the scream, and within sort of the next minute, either you or somebody close to you will die. There's like that idea has always freaked me out so much.
Yes, that's also spooky.
Yeah.
All right,
There is a lot of scary things in the world, and that's the point of the last segment that we were just discussing.
No, I think the point is there are a lot of scary things in the world, and you guys spend your time thinking about things that aren't real. There are way more scary things than
My
this.
mum said it was real.
Yeah, that's the problem is that the only way you can really debunk this is to just say, like, your mum's lying. Or she's like,
Then
she's...
say it, Tom.
yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the only
Know
way
that she's
you could.
listening right now and say my mum is
a
a
liar.
filthy liar.
Or she's just like, hallucinating or something like that.
What's the 70s? Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, maybe. Well, who knows? But like, yeah, it does. Yeah, it's well. What can I say? You can't be like, oh, well, it's a simple explanation like that. Commonly, like it's obviously is either she's like misunderstood something or not. Like,
Do you think that the reason you're so much of a skeptic, though, is because you're a man?
no.
Write in the comments section, should we give Tom a sex change to see if he's less of a skeptic?
Yeah, after we burn him to death.
At Sizzlers. Can't wait.
Powered by the amazing taste grill of Sizzlers, which is going out of business.
But what's with all the
Go while you can. For the love of God, go while you can. That
You
salad
gotta
bar
try it.
is not to die for, but there's so much of it. You can have all you can eat.
yeah, brought to you by Sizzlers.
It's not brought to you by Sizzlers, but well-deserved shout-out.
If only, yeah. Yeah, what's with like the windows opening thing? Why is that so? So you're saying there were shutters on the windows and stuff, or just all the doors and windows like open?
Locked. My mum specifically locked all the windows and doors. And when she left...
Have you heard my ghost story?
Yes,
should we go into
we told
it,
the
or-
last pod. How bad is your memory?
Did we?
Lay off the crack.
Which was that?
Can you just quickly tell, like,
the
just,
one with, like my grandma or whatever tucking in my
Brother?
my uncles?
shut up if you have, actually.
All right.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. All right,
Okay.
so like my mum told me it. My grandma's, like my whole family, like history of atheists. It's awesome. This like none of them are at all into like spirits and all that kind of stuff.
My mum is
They used to go
very
off-
into spirits.
A little clue there, maybe. Yeah. Then they used to go off to
That's
this.
my mum. I say mean things to her all the time.
Yeah, good on you. Yeah, thanks for listening. Yeah, they used to go off to this like hut, like this, like a family friend of theirs, like a couple of my grandparents, like their friends they had recently died, and they had this kind of village, like this cabin out in the woods kind of place that they used to go to on like for summer vacations with my two uncles and my mum. And I don't know if my mum was even born then, but yeah, my two uncles, and they were like kids. They were really tiny, like 5, 6 years old, or 6 to like 10 or something.
You can tell that this was when movies weren't invented. Of course, there's going to be a ghost in some abandoned cabin near a lake.
Yeah. It is. That's like, so picture that. And then what was happening was one morning they were sitting at breakfast, and Roger, my uncle, who was like 5 years old, was like, Mum, so like last night, I'd appreciate it. Like, thanks for coming and tucking me in and everything, but like, you really don't need to. It kind of hurt a bit. Like, you're tucking me in too hard. And she was like thinking like, what are you talking about? Like, I didn't tuck you in. Like, that's strange. And then like the next night, like happened again the next day, and he's like, seriously, like, can you like stop doing that? Like, it's really hurting. Like, you're tucking me in, like, like really like hurting me, like putting the sheets around me like way too hard. And she's was saying to my granddad, like, oh, like, I don't understand. Like, I'm not going into his room at all. Like, this is really weird. And then the next night, she got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and she was like walking down the hall and like just like went to check in on like the kids, and she opens the door, and there was like a woman dressed like in like a nightgown leaning over Roger, and she just like screamed and like ran back to the bedroom to get my grandfather, and he then like got up and was just like, "What do you want?" Like, and went and checked, and like there was no one there.
Guys, can I sleep at your house tonight? Far out.
That did me in well.
Yeah, I feel really... God, this pod is filled with so much negativity. Why is Pat such bad juju? From the very beginning, you guys were in a terrible mood, and now you're scaring everyone.
I can tell you a nice ghost story. My auntie actually is a fan of sort of supernatural activity, and they had a ghost haunting their house apparently, which was quite benign and sort of...
Wow.
I know it's told in such certainty. Their ghost was friendly.
well,
And
apparently...
it turns out Robbie's family wrote Casper the Friendly Ghost.
yeah, funny twist to this story.
And all it did was sort of just sit on beds. You could just see it sitting there on beds.
How did you... how could you say that with a straight face?
That's just what I know.
Do you know anything else about that story? Is that where it ends? Is this a lot like when you read internet articles and
What
say
are you talking
what
about?
the
It just
title of it
sits
is,
on
but
beds.
don't read it? Did someone say that there was a ghost that used to sit on beds and you went, oh, okay. Only to tell us years later, not getting any other information out of that story.
Like, would they watch it just sitting there and try and talk to it, or what? Like, what do you mean?
You just sort of see it there and know it was there, I guess. And then
Would there be an impression, like, on the couch?
an
or something?
impression on the beds. A bed. I think it was just one bed.
Damn.
And also...
Groove, ghost.
I think the animals were okay with it. Like, this is the inversion of that scary one where the animals sort of like, I think they liked it.
Friendly ghost.
Friendly ghost.
Was it called Casper or not?
Well, I don't know. Just sat on beds.
Yeah, he doesn't even know that about the story.
Didn't do enough. All right, let's move on to Goosebumps.
All right.
Oh, is that?
More spooky tales.
Yeah, this is a good segue.
Yeah, you want to get really scared?
As A Parsons pointed out, the chimp on the front, whose picture we're not going to upload, and everybody that did from the last pod actually send in pictures of their Professor Eek edition that they have. And there was quite a few people that sent them, but they were all privately messaged of people that just wanted me specifically to know that they have this book. They didn't want to brag to anyone else, just me.
Not like a public service of telling people what it looks like.
I saw one person post.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jordan, just in case you don't know, this is what the Professor Eek cover looks like.
I'm looking at it right now, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I really appreciate the fact that you went out there and supported R.L. Stein and his artistic endeavours.
Just so
that
you know
wasn't the
where-
point
yeah.
of this. That was not the point of us making the call out.
Yeah, we are physically here. Like, we can see the book. All right, let's hear it.
Okay. So people decided to sit around weirdly and wait for your mum. So
Of course they did.
So
Oh, they are just the most disappointing, but at the same time, great darndest audience you've ever had the privilege of talking to.
Like,
Good on you for listening.
We said we'd
Thanks,
die if we did
FBI and Lonely Kids Club.
They're not the audience. All right, go on. Go.
Yeah, they definitely do not listen to this. Otherwise, we would have been kicked out of FBI ages ago. All we do is bitch about them.
I'm pretty sure Warwick from Lonely Kids Club does, so thanks, Warwick, once again.
Shout out.
let's not mess around, you say to Sam. We should wait for my mum. You take a seat in one of the orange plastic chairs in the waiting room. Sam plops down in another one. Bummer, he says. I thought your mum was going to take us to the movies. She is, you assure him, as soon as she gets off work. But you look at your watch and think, uh-oh, she's late again. This has happened a lot lately. You hardly ever see your mum since she started working at Eek Labs. She spends more and more time at the lab. When you complained about this morning, she apologised and gave you a big hug. She offered to take you to dinner and the movies that night. And bring Sam if you want, she said. You check your watch again. It's almost 6 o'clock. Where is she? Suddenly, the door opens. A short woman in a white lab coat steps into the waiting room. She stares at you and Sam. Then, she motions for you to come with her. Sorry, we've been running late, the woman says. I'm Vanessa. Follow me. You're here for the raster experiment, aren't you? Vanessa asks. The pay is $50, cash. You get it at the end of the experiment, and it takes only about 20 minutes. Let's go. You look at Sam. $50? But what kind of experiment is it? If you go along with Vanessa, turn to page 20. If you don't want to take a chance on the raster experiment, turn to page 63.
I wonder what option the audience is going to pick.
So
Should we just
conservative, aren't they?
pre-pick what it is?
They're
Unless there's 100% disagreement, we are definitely going on to... No, we're fine, thanks. We're not going to take the $50 experiment.
We've set like an absolute certain principle now, which is just like whatever we want, they will do the opposite, right? Every time. So, all right, guys, let's do the experiment.
It's like
that would be
everyone
obviously
who's
better.
a fan of the Friendlyjordies podcast is also a fan of that fridge magnet that says, Murphy's Law, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So, good on you for, I don't know, just for listening. That's about it.
That's all you do.
That's all you do, listen and fuck things up.
Such a sad day.
Man, scared and sad. Handle with care.
Handle with care edition.
I feel like such a dog. At the beginning of this, I was so chirpy and... What are we talking about today, guys? And then you guys just sitting there going, I don't know, just how much of a dickhead Paddy's, I guess. Halfway through that, I'm just like, yeah, screw Goosebumps and the audience. Fuck every single person that listens to this pod, even though it's all been positive right up until the 24th or 25th episode.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, Pat, I guess.
Glass jawed. Sorry, you're in a really fragile state. I won't finish that insult. What's the next segment?
All right, now we're going to talk about politics. So, Jordan... All right, so Jordan's extensive political knowledge of the 2016 US election. Tell us about it.
All right. As everyone knows, if you want to talk politics, you come see me. The Jaw Don. That's why I agree so flavorously with whatever that other guy's name that had Don at the end.
Patsy
That's paying
Don.
You guys, he said shit to your memory. Look at that.
Yeah, won't forget that.
He is your white whale. That is your Moby Dick.
One day, Pat.
God, shows how much, even smaller than what is the moral of that ancient tale. You guys are just a much worse, more modern version of that, who instead of going out to sea for months and willing to risk an entire life's crew, are just going to sit here and bitch for the safety of the microphone.
One day. Yeah. Ahab. All right, yeah.
So obviously, if you want to talk politics, you come see the Jordan. And it doesn't matter what country it is. You want me to talk Zimbabwe politics? Sure, I'll Google that and come back to you in a week, because you can't get me to do it instantaneously, as this pod comes out weekly. So it'll just appear like I'm a massive expert on it. And just to allay any fears that I'm not, trust me, I am. We are talking the American election of 2016 because it is just turning out to be the greatest clown car train wreck you have ever seen in your life. If you want something that's even saucier than TMZ, check out... Robbie did it again.
Yeah, he always
waved.
He always looks out the studio, waves at someone who's behind us, and we...
And we're already on a jumpy mood because of all the ghost stories.
Yeah.
And then I turn around and it is this woman in white.
Sorry, Don. Continue.
But there's no producers scheduled from 6 to 9.
It actually turned out there was, and so we're sorry about that.
Yeah, okay.
So
US
what I
election.
found out about the US election from my extensive research of watching MSNBC, which is, we don't have a version of it, but it is the antithesis of Fox News in America. It is super liberal. Everybody on there, except for the morning host who's a Republican, are all Democrats, and they all love sitting there and doing what I do essentially here, which is just shitting on the Conservative Party. One of the hosts, called Lawrence O'Donnell, pointed out that it is impossible for the Conservative Party in America, otherwise known as, and if you don't know this, then please go read a book about anything specifically. You probably won't want to read about politics because you don't know anything about it, because this is a really, really simple point of American politics. Republicans. The Republicans in America are a liberal party. It is impossible for them to win the 2016 election because of the media is gotten to a point where there is enough billionaires in the US that are, internet billionaires and the likes that are environmentally conscious that are funding the Democrats. As a result, because of their US electoral system, it's possible for the Republicans, and they prove it all the time, to win congressional elections because that's their version of the lower house, except for the president doesn't sit in there. So they've got Congress, Senate, and then president that sits there and has the last word, which is the name of the show that I watched that was talking about this. Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell.
Isn't that really bad that, like, the Democrats just will always win? Doesn't that mean there's no...
That's great.
I know, but doesn't that kind of take away a bit of, like, the idea of democracy, though? Even
Who cares? Honestly, would either of you guys care if we lived in a tyranny, but Labor was in control in that tyranny forever?
Well,
and so every now and then you just got kind
would.
of pissed off that they were going like, oh, it's just infighting at the top. I hate infighting.
I know what you're saying,
Probably bad,
but
but I've got no idea about politics at all. I just don't like it when my wife yells at me. So I'm assuming that that's what it's like in Parliament House, because it's also called a house.
Yeah, but it's just such a... It shouldn't matter, like, if it's your beliefs or not, right? Like, it should just be that there is always the, toing and froing. Like, you don't really want... Yeah, like, it's great if you agree with them, but what about, like, for the half of the population that then don't...
Do you honestly care about any of them? If they all of a sudden... Anyone who voted Liberal in the last election, which includes even some of my close relatives and family, if they were on the moon gasping for air, I would not send up a lunar module to give any of them oxygen. I'd just sit there and watch it on C-SPAN going, yeah, no wonder this is on the channel for public affairs. This is very public. 50% of the public is on the moon dying from lack of oxygen.
All I'm saying is that, like, it would be the absolute opposite. Like, if it was the same scenario but the Republicans win all the time, you'd be up in arms about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's outrageous.
And you don't see the problem there.
No. What is the problem?
Don't you reckon a good tyranny is like the best form of government?
Well,
the most efficient kind of...
The word tyranny means... Isn't like tyrant by like default like a negative word?
Dictatorship.
Dictatorship, sorry.
Yeah, like if it worked,
Listen
I
to
guess
this
it could.
grammar Nazi over here, even though that's not grammar Nazi. It's a vocab Nazi.
Well, let's take the Nazis for instance.
Vocabulary.
Oh, there are bad examples of dictatorships, surely.
No, yeah. I hate the whole like squabbling thing of like that the like
nothing gets done.
Yeah, and how like it's not true that the public always the masses know best and that kind of thing. But nonetheless, it feels as though it's a bad state if the media control politics to the point that only one party can ever be elected. Even if you like it or not, it still seems bad.
Well, the Republicans are still there and they can do a hell of a lot of damage, but they're never going to be in the driver's seat. From this point to the end of America's existence, I'm calling it now, the Republicans will never, ever have another presidential election. So saith a show that is aired at 10 p.m. on an extremely liberal channel. Because apparently, in their presidential elections, you've got what are called college votes, and each state has a certain amount. So, I don't know, Nebraska might have 6, and I think California has 52. There's something called in America the blue wall, which is all the eastern states are super blue states, meaning they're incredibly democratic. There is no chance in hell that a Republican is going to win any of those seats. That blue wall has extended so far that they now lock up 257 safe Democratic seats. You need 270 to win.
Oh, wow.
So all the purple states in the US, and there's only 12 to 6 to 12, if they win one of those college seats, they've won the election. So even the most mild-mannered, nothing Democrat candidate ever, even if it's a plank of wood, they're definitely going to win the White House.
But isn't that just now?
Yeah.
Like, that's really cool, but like, isn't that just kind of, like the last election we had of just, the last state election, New South Wales one, just like an impossible thing to come back from. But like, who knows what the situation will be in like 20 years' time?
Well, that's the thing, is that they're funding through, because it's just a common idea now because of what normally happens, which usually gets conservative governments in so they can screw it over even more. And you get this all the time with comments on my channel, is people saying, both Libs and Labour suck equally, okay? And they misspell Labour anyway. They put a U in there. It's not giving birth to a woman, like a child. It's a completely different word. But that's the kind of knowledge that the majority of the public has. If you don't know anything about politics, your idea is Libs and Labour, misspelled, stuck equally. And so what happens each election is whoever's in power, there's a protest vote of going, these guys screw us over for a while. But that's not the case at all. What the reality of the situation is that the more left-leaning government in each of these places would be far more left-leaning if there wasn't this huge control of power and wealth at the top that is what is known as the invisible government, which controls all the funding to campaigns and elections, and anything they don't like, they're able to just pour out billions of dollars at the drop of a hat to make that party unelectable. So it's really hard for the Progressive Party to win any election anyway, because they have to put this constant juggling tightrope of trying to be more left than the right-wing party, but also just the fact that the billionaires at the top of each society really want the Conservatives to win and always pump heaps of money into them. So they have to do that. They have to be more right than what you would expect them to be. And
why are they funding the Democrats, though, if they all want? Like, surely, if they're all Republicans, why aren't there just tons of billionaires supporting the Republican Party?
Because this is what's happened over time, is that pretty much only the billionaires that support the Republican Party in the US, this is not the same in Australia, all the billionaires in Australia support the Liberal Party. The billionaires in America, pretty much the only ones are oil oligarchs. Everybody else, so banking, financial giants, some financial giants are still Republican, but most of where the money is, they all support Democrat parties because they understand that the Democrats actually know how to run an economy, unlike the Republicans, who all they really care about at this point is just making sure gay marriage doesn't pass and stuff like that. And so they look at that and they think, that's insane. We actually want somebody who can run an economy properly.
So why do our billionaires in Australia support the Liberal Party?
Because they don't care about that at all. It doesn't really impact them because our economy doesn't rely as much on financial gains in the banking sectors and stuff like that. There obviously is a huge element to that. They fund both of those, hedge their bets, but usually give more to the Liberal Party. But in our situation, the economy is good enough. We haven't gone through a recession or anything where you need somebody who can competently control the economy. Basically what they want is continual handouts of welfare. That's the lineup. And anyway,
correct.
That was another segment that was filled with negative, spiteful emotions. Let's see if we could get at least
really
one happy.
At least we learned something in that. It wasn't just all sadness.
Didn't learn some stuff there.
All right, well, this one's a bit more fun, maybe. We're going to see...
That was not edutainment, was it? That was just education.
No, yeah, I guess so, yeah.
That's all right, we need them every once in a while, don't we?
Yeah.
No, we don't. Screw that.
Yeah.
If you don't like those, put it in the comments section because, God, it always brings the mood down in these podcasts.
I don't think it could be
It
any
always
more
makes
down
me
today.
desperately... True. But, no, I
Somehow
really feel
we
it. I really reach rock bottom.
All right, so now we're going to do a thing where we just realised before when we were talking about things that we like and what we don't like, that Robbie is just a completely different person to Jordan and I when it comes to these kind of things. So
He's just a different human being altogether. In fact, this segment should be called, Is Robbie Even a Human Being?
as in, because we are human beings and Robbie's so different to us.
Look at the way he sees the world. Both of us are wearing shirts that you would see prison inmates wear. We roll in different cliques. We're hardcore gangster mofos. Robbie is not. Robbie has a pineapple on his shirt that has a pirate's patch over it and two bananas in the background. That's how positive and upbeat his life is, that he doesn't even want skulls and crossbones on his shirt because they would scare him.
Slinging shit.
At Good Friends.
All right, so now we're going to list out things that Jordan and me like or dislike, and we're just going to test Robbie, and Robbie's going to tell us if he likes them or
Because
not.
we
and
really
then
want to clear the air. Ever since I met Robbie about a year ago, there has always been this unresolved tension between us, primarily stemming from the fact 80% of this is because he doesn't like The Simpsons. So there's always just this level of intimacy that I can't get with in my relationship with Robbie. He's always going to be a really good acquaintance.
but you're not a friend until you like The Simpsons.
You're not a friend of Friendlyjordies. That's hard.
I need to
It's really hard.
I need to see some Simpsons, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Or maybe you need to get
Parsons
acquainted
test.
with some of the stuff that I like.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, what do you reckon of Russell Crowe, Robbie?
He's
Love,
he's all
love or
right.
hate? Or indifferent?
Indifferent.
Yeah, well, we both love him. So,
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
So that's already strike one. You have to like a Simpsons episode at this point, but the rest of it is all marks to see, like a driver's test, what you just are passing in flying colours in and what needs improvement. And so far, you don't like Russell Crowe. Needs improvement.
Okay, what do you reckon when you go to a museum and you see one of those kind of model exhibits of early humans, like holding
Australopithecus, I believe, is the correct scientific term, and I am really certain about that because that was my favourite speech that I ever delivered in Year 6. Good times.
So early humans running away from volcano, saber-toothed tiger, mammoth, something like that, with like a baby kind of, you know, those kind of like clay models of like early family.
Like the Pompeii kind of...
Yeah, but even earlier, like caveman.
We're
kind
talking people that could barely stand up. The real absolute bones of humanity.
Yeah.
They're not, before that, they're just monkeys. But
Yeah.
because they could kind of stand up to go, is there a line in there? Holy shit, there is! We think that those are human beings. Those people, that real iconic image of the footprints that they have in Patagonia, I think it is. No, sorry, it was definitely in Africa. It's completely different. I was so certain about that.
I know, yeah.
But there is footprints of these beings walking away from a site that erupted moments after those footprints were made. And they imagine that there's these two very chimpanzee-like people that have bloodshot eyes. They look very stoned and scared. And they're staring back at the volcano. Their man has his arm around this incredibly ugly woman. And the guy's all right. He's all right.
He's doing all right.
But he's really lowered his, like, where his league is. He's batting in the minor leagues with this one.
She's punching.
Yeah. So it's not like, do you like that, those people? It's like, do you like the model exhibit of that scene?
Yeah.
Love or hate?
Love, hate, don't rate.
I like, but I prefer... Oh, wait, does dipro... I like the
Protodon, yeah.
Diprotodon, I love that.
Yeah, all right.
Does that factor in there?
Yeah. I
Okay,
think
so
that's-
like.
Yeah, all right. You
Tom,
pass
how
on that.
could you?
That's pretty close. Have you seen Diprotodon, the big wombat?
No, but I'm assuming it's awesome. All right.
It's really cool.
It's probably next to people similar to that, so...
Yeah, not quite, but yeah, it's
Okay.
pretty close.
Agree to disagree.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you reckon, Robbie, of taking a glass of champagne into the movies?
Gold class specifically.
Preferably like Dendy. You know how they serve like wine or whatever, and you can like wander in with like a glass. Like taking glass into a movie cinema. What do you think about that?
Yeah, piss off.
Yeah, we both think
That
as well.
really surprised me. I thought that Robbie would love that
Yeah.
because he's always coming in and demanding that we try his dips. And his dips are always shit.
Yeah, Robbie's staple
I'm
is
sorry.
bread and olive oil.
Are you kidding me, mate?
Gonna have to draw the line
Just
here.
not that. It's just not that much of an improvement. Hey, okay. Peanut butter. You think that's awesome, right? Yes. What about if it was drenched in Nutella? I think it'd be better to just have Nutella by itself, frankly. No.
is pretty good.
I like the fact that there's salt in this sweet chocolate now.
It is. I love it. I reckon it's good.
Yeah,
that's what we
thanks.
differ. Yeah.
Oh, me too, guys. So we're all amigos on that one.
Okay, Robbie, what do you think about that big Sean?
Yes.
You know why he's called Big Sean? is because of how the size of his penis.
Oh, okay.
There was a photo of him on TMZ taking a selfie of his immense donger.
Really?
And it was immense.
Okay.
What do you think of
Whale
that?
shit.
Do you love
Big
that?
Sean.
Yeah.
Because everyone was always saying, "But you're little, Sean. Why are you calling yourself big?" And then he took that selfie of himself, going, "Here's why." What do you think about that? Yeah, check out the size of my photo.
Do you love that or hate that? His name is after his penis.
Oh my God.
Let's be honest.
What do I think? I think... No, I don't like that.
You don't? That is the only thing I like about Big Sean.
Sorry, we love that. So
That's probably the only. That's probably the only thing I would be slightly partial to about him. But I don't even like that.
yeah.
God, the tension in this room.
What about Dreamtime stories? Love or hate?
Or don't rate.
I'm pretty indifferent to them, actually. Like I sort of, they don't really do much for me.
Yeah, we hate them.
All right, I wasn't sure if you're gonna do that. I'll jump on board with that.
Yeah, Robbie. Dreamtime stories. They're old and naff.
They're pretty shit.
Every single story. And that's how the kookaburra got a beak. No, it's not. We know that it's from Charles Darwin. Stop telling kids lies. Just because they're really old doesn't mean you have to respect them. It's like even basketball players from the 30s that dribble the ball with both hands with that crap music going... Robbie, hate, rate, don't rate.
You were not following along for that.
I don't know why he was so offended.
As
by
in, like, what do you
that
think
one
of the
when we asked
Harlem
him about what do you
the
think about
Harlem
Dreamtime
Globetrotters?
I
stories?
wasn't offended. I don't
Harlem
know.
Globetrotters.
I don't know.
You know the
anything about
basketball
them.
stars that do all the crazy like
Right. I don't know if I know what you're talking
basketball
about.
tricks.
Right.
Okay. Well, you hate
Right.
them.
And different. Yeah, hate, I guess.
And before we go on to the last one, just a quick shout out because we should have done this at the beginning of this segment, but rewind it. Hate, don't rate, love are the options, and if you agree with it, that's the quiz. This is a Dolly Magazine quiz to say that, are you more of a Robbie or a Tom and Jordan? So you could all play along with that. Isn't that fun that we've got an interactive segment?
Unlike
We always have
every
it.
other week.
Yeah.
Try out something new. What was the last one that you wanted to do? I was thinking abstract
cares?
art. What do you abstract
Who
art?
cares about this one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, abstract art.
Nonetheless, what do you reckon?
No, but I was going to say, because I'm sensing that this is getting pretty tedious, is that...
Yeah, I think we're all thinking that.
Yeah. What do you think about, this is a bundle question, so this is the big score, and I'm willing to override not all of the fact that you hate The Simpsons, but 30% of that will just write off as if this is a quick 30%.
Okay? All right. Please understand. It's really hard to get through your head that I don't hate something, isn't it? Like if I say anything slightly negative about something you love, it's just like he hates it. But I don't. It's not true.
You do. You said the other day, like, you're just like, I don't know what you see in that. Didn't
Doesn't
you?
mean I hate it. I mean, it means like I just said I don't laugh at it, like really at all. That's what I said. Doesn't mean I hate it. Like I can.
Yeah, okay, I can see the distinction, but it's still very offensive. It's still so offensive
feel
to
like
hear that.
Is it?
Look at how stern Tom's face is. Probably because he's still thinking about that comment he received later. Still.
Back into a slump.
But also because, yeah, Simpsons is good. Now, all right, what do you think about this? Wanted to get this off my chest. Did it to Tom. Changed his mind completely. Yeah, we're having that debate before about whether or not Arnold Schwarzenegger is better than the guy that was from the Tooth Fairy movie,
The Rock.
The Rock.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah, The Rock's better.
This changed, but it momentarily changed his mind then, I guess, because that's not what he said before. All right, his 3 favourite quotes that he had in action movies, that he always demanded that there be a comical relief line that he says, because he's always thought that my edge is that I'm tongue-in-cheek as an action hero. It makes me likable on 2 levels. Do you understand how deep my mind works? So, here they are.
Jordan's Idol. There you go.
I can't remember which movies they're from. One of them is he kicks a steam pipe off its hinges, so it's going picks up a guy and says, "Time to let off some steam."
Yeah, right.
All right, and smiles. Reserve judgment until you hear the last two. This one is he is in a plane and he's grabbed a guy by the head and says, "Sorry to be a pain in the neck." Breaks his neck, the guy's dead. The third one is Arnold Schwarzenegger running away from two German shepherds while there's thousands of machine gun bullets that none of them miraculously hit Arnold Schwarzenegger, even though he's a very big, muscly, burly man. Such an easy
Running
target
through
to
the
hit.
snow.
Running through the snow. There's two German shepherds that are running up. He grabs both of them by the collar, smacks their heads together, and keeps running and yells back at them, "Stay."
I like it.
30% is wiped off. I still cannot be friends with Robbie, but we're getting close.
Yeah,
And that's the wrap up of what was the last 10 minutes of this pod.
oh yeah.
I wish I had that Simpsons experience as a child. I mean, it would have been lovely because that's where because that's where it stems from for you guys, isn't it? Like it was a staple of your childhood sort of
Oh, yeah.
experience.
Yeah,
I don't
loved
know what
it.
I had. I think I had just Finding Nemo.
Yeah,
Anyway,
And
carry
we're
on.
trying
Yeah,
to
sorry.
lift the mood of this very somber pod, and
Yeah,
you're
handle
not
us
helping.
with
You're not helping, Robbie. What's the next one?
all right, so now we're going to do the okay, so it's the Change.org campaign and about burning me at the stake. So I get to have a last attempt at proving that I'm not a wizard, and if you don't agree, support the more people. You can support the petition at Change.org.
Which has a picture of Di on the front, who is
Not
as
me.
Christian as it gets now, but he is drawn out to be like the devil, which I'm sure he'd find very offensive and good, frankly. Now,
I can't believe that happened. Anyway, yeah.
saucy stuff. Tom, prove to us why you're not a wizard in front of a trial by your own peers. Should we do that?
No. Okay, so
Nah, we're doing it at the end.
no, we're not.
Yes, we are. This is going to be an exclusive segment to the SoundCloud edition of the Friendly Jordies podcast, where Robbie, because he was accused of being gay in the lame sense, not the homosexual sense, is going to be doing one of those It Gets Better videos that went viral on YouTube that say Google CEOs and gay entertainers in the US were making, where they'd say that, guys, I know that you're getting bullied at school, but it gets better when you're out because that working spirit gives you such a boost over your competition when you're older. Look at me now, I'm the CEO of Google. Robbie will be doing that despite the fact that he's not homosexual, which I'm sure is very offensive to them, but screw it, we're going to do
I
it anyway.
hate
But
the
also,
gay
Monty was
thing.
included in that comment as well, by the way.
Yeah, well, he was targeting you because he didn't. He was saying like get off the.
We had to
stop the
multitask
round.
because we're getting kicked out of the studio once again. We've really got to stop booking it around this time. So that's why we got to...
It is just it's
Right
like a
out 2 seconds
busy
at that
like
time.
soup kitchen. This place, isn't it? FBI. It's just like there is a queue almost to use this thing. It's so hard to book.
Yeah, the microphones are the soup, and both Robbie and Tom have very hobo-ish beards. Going, it's my turn. Get out of the way. Threatening people with rats, the closest thing they can afford to knives.
Look, I haven't actually prepared anything to say why I'm not a wizard, but anyway, yeah, I'm just. Look, I don't need.
It's such a sad one.
I know.
It's crazy.
It's gone on long enough. I think this whole thing. Like I'm obviously not. I don't know why I have to even defend it. It's always been a joke, but yeah, just please don't sign the petition because they'll make me burn my tongue on a stake if I am.
Please sign it. I want to get scissors.
As your prosecution, just appointed myself that we didn't discuss this before. Matt Tarrant, celebrity wizard, has confirmed on several occasions, and who else would know more about wizardry than a wizard himself, that you are a wizard. He won't admit that you're a better wizard, even though I personally think you are, and Robbie does as well. Again, completely impartial jury who is now judging you and very obviously wants those 100 signs, so Tom has to burn his tongue.
Look, I'm a hack amateur illusionist at best. I'm no wizard.
Yeah, he's getting there, though. It's kind of like in the age when witches were rife throughout the planet, and thank God they burned all of them so they don't exist anymore. That'd be a very mischievous Halloween, opening the door and going, "But you're 80 years old. My candy!" Much like that, we should probably kill you before you get any further onto that. And by kill, I mean burn his tongue mildly. To prove, we have taken a chunk out of the old scripture that the papacy in ancient Rome sent out to every Catholic nation in Europe about how to destroy witches in their communities, which is called, Robbie, can't remember because it's in Latin.
It's called the Malleus Maleficarum.
One of them was that you prick a mole on the said witch's body, and if it works, no blood should be drawn out of it if you're a witch. But if you're not, heaps of blood will be drawn. We're not going to be doing that one because that's going to be way less painful than the one that's on your neck. But you didn't know you had that, but I've been looking at it all pod going, "Oh yeah, you're about to get shanked."
Oh, God. So I don't bleed. I'm a witch. I mean a wizard.
Yep. And much like what they used to use in the olden days was a fake pin that goes in on itself. It was the first movie stunt knife. It was a little pin that would draw in, and then they'd come out and say, "Yeah, she's definitely a witch," and then they'd burn her. I don't know why, just because they're horrible people.
Yeah,
I don't know why you want more witches to be in the world.
So this pod's about to get surgical. This is what we've got to with our stunts, is we're about to like put a pencil into my neck. But
yes, this
for the
is
pod.
Tom's audition to be on Embarrassing Bodies. I was already on there, as everybody on the podcast audience apparently knows that I even forgot about it. It was made 2 years ago, but they just put it on now. God, commercial television's getting desperate.
It's terrible, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, okay, let's do this.
This is your version of that.
All right.
As you know, Tom on the right side of his neck has a hideous, disgusting mole that you can't stop looking at, and it really grosses everyone out. We're going to see if he's a wizard or not
If it draws
by poking
blood.
that with a blunt pencil. And if it doesn't draw any blood, and we don't know yet, we don't know if this pencil will draw blood or not.
All right, be gentle though, because this is my neck. Oh, it feels like getting an injection. Go on.
Tom's wincing, so we're just going to make this very slow to see a lot of that wobbling tension in his neck as he's getting that nice little vein on the side of his neck that Hank Hill has that used to be on Fox
Just
8.
do it.
I'm not sure if it is anymore because I don't watch TV much.
Just do it.
Yeah, you really want me to do it, don't you?
Stop this.
As he's clearly verbalized several times. Here we go.
Just do
Inserting
it.
the blunt pencil.
Stop it. Just put it on my neck. All right. Oh, fuck.
Robbie, clarify.
No
Is it-
blood.
Is it blood?
There's no blood.
There's no blood! Wizard! Wizard! Wizard!
No.
That's the blood in his mouth! It's the only way to cleanse the world of nature!
Oh, that really hurt.
Yeah, please sign the petition. We want to go to Sizzlers.
Why would you do
Thanks for listening. Pat, keep the mean comments coming. Really upset Tom and Robbie a lot. Really good pod. Very proud of that last one. That's really good. Half a year into doing this. See you around.
that?
Thanks. Thanks, FBI.